Now, yoga requires some form of patience, some form of flexibility, and at times even strength. But this pose that I'm going to be teaching you for this video is actually considered to be one of the most approachable poses in yoga. So, let's get into this. Hey y'all, Aman here, and you're watching Heart Limits. So now you might be asking, why is it that suddenly Aman is going to show us a yoga pose or a yoga posture? Well, to answer that question, the reason is because yoga in itself has a lot of benefits, and there are certain poses which highlight benefits more than others. This pose that I'm going to be talking about and showing you actually is called the Viparita Karani, which basically means inverted action. Well, the problem with the name in itself, it kind of gives you an impression that your body is inverted, but actually it isn't that. It's actually not just a leg, legs up the wall. So that's another name to call it, legs up the wall. So the beauty with this pose or posture is that not only does it work out your back and your hamstrings, it also helps soothe some pain that you might have in your legs from walking around a lot or from sitting around the whole day, because once you do that, at some point gravity has a way of bringing more of the blood down towards your leg and gives it a problem in circulation. So with this posture, it actually helps with blood circulation, and if you combine it with the proper breathing exercises, you can actually lower your heart rate. It can make you relieve some form of anxiety, stress, and it can even help you work out if you have some problem with insomnia, and can also help you if you've been flying a lot, some form of jet lag. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to set up a space, a comfortable space where you can kind of lie back on and there's some form of wall. Well, of course, you can be creative and you can think outside the box. You can literally do it in a park. You know, just lie down on the grass and put your feet up on a tree or something. You can even do it in an office space. You can do it at home. You can even do it on your bed. You know, just put your body on the bed, lift up your feet by the headboard, and you're good to go. So that's step one, find a space and make sure it is in some way comfortable, right? Number two is you try to put your hips as close to the wall as you can, right? So after you've done that, you're going to try to crawl up your feet and push your body as close to the wall as you can. Well, of course, some people do it better than me. To be honest, I'm not much of a yoga person, so I'm not an expert. First of all, one big error that a lot of people do is that they put their hips too close to the wall. The problem with that is that if you make too much of a 90-degree angle, you can actually cut the circulation by your hips. So it's actually better if there is a little distance from the wall and technically your butt, right? So with that distance, there's a lot of things that some people find uncomfortable. First of all, sometimes they might feel some pain in this area. So some people, they either put a towel or a pillow there, and for some, they would also put a little on their head because they find it more relaxing. And some people, of course, you'd be asking, what do they do with their legs? One is they can keep it straight up high. Well, for some, they prefer it spread out, which is also possible. And with the arms, some people like to keep them open, spread out, while some prefer them, more towards the belly. Well, after all, it really depends which area, or rather which placement you have of your legs and your hands that makes it more comfortable for you. After all, this is also a way of relaxing, so you need to be comfortable with what you're doing. So, once you've placed yourself in a position which is comfortable for you, for me, which I find the most comfortable, is with my legs spread, not that close to the wall. Next, I don't really like putting a pillow or something underneath here or even on my head. What I would do is, I would more spread out my arms. Once you're in that position, that is when you start doing certain breathing exercises. And for me, which I would recommend, is a pretty simple one. You inhale through your nose for 4 seconds and you exhale for 8 seconds. So, let's do this. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you inhale again and you exhale. So some people do it about 5 times and then after they just start to breathe regularly. And for some, they do it in the whole process. So for beginners, it's good to start with 5 minutes. To be honest, that's actually the recommended amount. But for some reason, some people do it for even all the way up to 20 minutes. So in the end, it's all up to your preference, right? Oh yeah, and just for added info, just in case you didn't know, it's actually debatable if it's good to do it during a woman's menstruation period or not. So in the end, I think it's better if you ask a professional about this, if it's safe or not safe to do it during your menstruation. So doing the legs up the wall is perfect because in some way, it gives your heart a rest. You know, it gives it an easier time to help pump and circulate the blood throughout the body. So once again, Aman here, and you're watching Heart Limits. So let me know if you're able to do it easily or you're having a hard time doing it. If you have some questions on how you can do it better or if you're doing it right, you know, leave a comment. I'll try to get back to you. So once again, see ya.